Welcome back to Macro Decoded. Today, let's pull back the curtain on the UK's economic miracle of 2025 and why it could unravel dramatically in 2026. The headlines are glowing. The UK just upgraded its growth forecast to 1.5%, the strongest in the G7. But beneath that optimism, there's a looming fiscal cliff, growing unemployment, and an economy built more on government support than real prosperity. If you're invested in global markets, work in the UK, or just want to see how quickly economic fortunes can change, this is a story you must hear. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe to Macro Decoded for weekly deep dives that go beyond the headlines. EY Item Club's revision to 1.5% GDP growth shocked many economists. What explains the surge? Massive public spending. Over £1 trillion pumped into the economy, with public expenditure £100 billion higher than just 2 years ago. This wasn't productivity or a manufacturing renaissance. It was the result of fiscal stimulus. But there's more. IMF says per capita growth, the measure that affects living standards, stayed near zero. In real terms, most families saw little to no boost in their day-to-day life. The GDP headline may look good, but beneath the surface, British workers are barely treading water. The spending tap is shutting off. Chancellor Rachel Reeves faces a 25 to 30 billion pound shortfall, and a fierce new round of tax rises and spending cuts is coming. April 2025's national insurance hike has already hit businesses. Now, Labour's manifesto promises are being set aside, with even deeper cuts likely in the November budget. All this will draw at least 1 full percentage point from growth in 2026. Unemployment, already rising to 4.8%, is forecast to hit 5%. Incomes will plateau at the very moment when inflation remains the highest in the G7, dipping only to around 2.5 to 2.7% in 2026. Households will retrench, and the recovery that looked so robust will be exposed as short-lived. British consumers are pulling back hard. Retail footfall is down for 6 straight months. The CBI's sales index is forecast to drop further, and Deloitte reports consumer confidence at 2-year lows. Households are saving, not spending, ahead of new tax increases. Businesses, battered by trade uncertainty and sharp new tariffs, are also freezing investment. The looming threat of 25% steel tariffs and restricted EU access is hammering manufacturers. Business investment may grow by less than 1% in 2026, a level that signals stagnation. As confidence withers, a vicious cycle sets in. Pessimism breeds caution, which breeds more economic weakness. The Bank of England faces a dilemma. Inflation is sticky, rates are still at 4%, and the path to rate cuts is slower than markets would like. Many homeowners are locked into old, high-rate mortgages, so even as national rates ease, relief won't come until well into 2026 or even later. Unlike past downturns, the BOE's hands are tied by lingering inflation and international instability. Don't expect a monetary rescue. Any stimulus will take time to reach real households, just as unemployment ticks higher. The upshot? Growth could collapse from 1.5% in 2025 to just 0.9% in 2026, almost vanishing after adjusting for population. More tax, less spending, rising joblessness, slow investment, and global headwinds, a perfect storm. It's not just a UK story. It's a warning for developed economies everywhere. It shows how headline growth can hide deep fragilities, how quickly booms turn to stagnation, and how tough it is to fix structural economic weaknesses with temporary policy support. If you found this breakdown valuable, please subscribe to Macro Decoded. We bring you the stakes, the human impact, and the big picture narrative behind every global economic headline. Turn on notifications. Don't miss the next episode as we reveal more stories shaping the world economy.